Well, welcome to Hamilton County TV. I'm Perry Williams, and today we're going to do an interview with Noblesville Athletic Director Leah Woolridge. Welcome, Leah.
Thanks, Perry.
Well, Leah, I would have to say that this past weekend, starting with Friday night and going through Saturday, it's good to be a Miller, would you say?
Yeah, not only good to be a Miller, it was great to be a Miller, and what an exciting couple days we had there.
Yeah, and you know, those were really a lot of firsts for the state of Indiana, a very important step for our football program to win their first sectional game in 10 years, and those are all big steps. And one thing, you've been here 5 years now, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So the 5 years, you know, you really got to get in those 5 years, you spent a lot of time getting the people on the bus, making sure that you got them in the right place. I always like to use that. And I think you're pretty well working on getting everybody in the right seat. So let's talk about this fall and some of the great things that we've had happen to us on the field, and then the facility upgrades that you've done here over the last year has been huge. So I'll let you take off and go ahead and talk a little bit about some of this stuff, especially this past weekend.
Yeah, so obviously, like you said, it started, Friday night with the football sectional win, the first we've had in 10 years, and obviously so happy for our kids and for our coaching staff. And, they work hard day in and day out and stay after it. Luxuries of doing interviews in schools, right?
Yeah, that's all right.
So, they stay after it, regardless of how many wins or losses they have. And as you know, sectional time is always a new season. And so right now we're 1-0 and heading into the sectional championship this Friday against Westfield. And so, obviously that was a big step for Coach Sharp and the football team. And then, Saturday with our girls cross country, kicking things off for us, getting that first state championship and, first in school history. Again, just a monumental task, and kudos to Coach Becker and our girls cross country team. And, and then our boys soccer team, got that second state title for us, and, going back to back. And if you talk to people, probably they didn't expect us to be back this year because of everything that we lost. And, it was a different team this year. And kudos to Coach Delaski and his staff for making changes and adjustments to realize that it was a different team that we had this year than last year, and that you have to do things differently sometimes with the personnel that you have. And our boys cross country team then went on and got a podium finish, 5th place finish. They ran great, had a great outing on Saturday as well. And then on the Saturday afternoon game, our girls soccer team got that 3rd state championship for us, and their 3rd and 4th years, and their 3rd and 4 years. And what a dynasty Coach Brady has built, and our girls soccer team, all the work that they put in the off season and during the season to make those accolades happen it speaks a lot about them and the soccer team. And like I said, we've just had a great fall.
Yeah. Coach, let's talk a little bit about the facilities, because we've made some tremendous upgrades, and I know in past years before you got here, people were saying, we need to upgrade this, upgrade that. And right now we're in pretty good shape. We have a fabulous multi-purpose stadium out there that does more than just athletics. Let's talk a little bit about that. And also the crowds have brought this year. Yeah,
and if I could go back, I'd be remiss in not mentioning, our volleyball team. What an outstanding season that
Absolutely.
They had. I think
right.
They finished 17-5 or 17-6, somewhere along those lines, and really took Fishers, to the max there in the sectional semifinals, and what an adjustment that Coach Polson has made. And so they also had a great season.
I mean, that's a big jump for them.
Absolutely. And we talk about our cheer team is going to state this Saturday, and they're going for their is it third or fourth straight.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what a dynasty those coaches have built as well. And so I would be remiss if I didn't to mention those. And as far as facilities upgrades, it's a lot to be proud of. Our kids and our coaches. They should be very proud of the things that the Noblesville School District has done, and the Board of Trustees have allowed us to do. You walk out and look at them, and you beam ear to ear just because of how awesome the facilities are.
Yeah, and also, now I'm not real sure, and I'm shame on me of not knowing this, but I know you had an opening ceremony for the new tennis complex, which is from afar looks outstanding, and I don't know whether you got to play any matches this fall or not, but man, it's going to be outstanding and should really help our tennis team along on facility wise.
Yeah, and that was one facility that was well past due to upgrade that facility, and we did actually get to play our very last match of the season. The boys' season they got to participate there. So obviously the girls will be able to participate their whole full season there. So
now also this year, of course, we got to use it a little bit last year, but also this year our soccer facilities, you made some upgrades there also.
Yeah, new scoreboards and continue to make upgrades there. And again, one of the best soccer facilities in the state. Obviously we're going to open the new renovation of the mill. It's very well done. It's got a nice pop to it. So I think people will be pleased with those upgrades as well. Got a new center hung scoreboard, and so it's again just another great facility for our kids and coaches and community.
Yeah, and jumping ahead, I don't want to talk too much about spring sports, but you also got some building project going on out at Don Duggar Field out there, and talk a little bit about that at Hazeldale. What's happening out there?
Yeah, again, another building where, for safety purposes for our kids, should we get inclement weather, we can get them right off the field and right into those locker rooms right there. And so upgrading the plaza area to make it a little more welcoming. And so again, once it's done, it's going to just be another outstanding facility that we've upgraded. Yeah,
because one thing about it, I think sometimes forget that there's much more to that. The job is for the athletic department than just being concerned about making sure they have schedules, referees, and being at the facilities. And one of the things that you just mentioned, which is a huge part, I mean, at the soccer field and at the baseball field, the safety part of it has been outstanding because, we know around here in spring and sometimes in fall that we can have some bad weather and it can come up pretty quick. So
the soccer facility this year we were fortunate when we hosted girls soccer, we had awesome weather, but last year it definitely came in handy because I think every game we had we ended up having to either delay or cancel, and it was due to lightning and that kicking up, and it kicked up, like I said, it kicked up really quickly. And so the capability to get those kids into a safe facility is, it's, I mean, that you can't picture it any better. So
yeah, well, let's jump a little bit into our winter sports. They're coming up, and actually we're kicking off girls basketball this Saturday here at the newly renovated mill, which I'm very excited about, and that girls basketball team won a state championship.
Yeah, and obviously have a great team coming back, a lot of experience coming back, and then we've got some upcoming young players that I know Coach Buckley is really excited about. And again, it's going to be one of those type of things where, like our boys soccer team, it's a totally different team, even though you have a lot of the same players back. It's a totally different team, and so have to make adjustments, do things a little differently because it's not it's a new year, a new team, so expectations are high. Like I said, we bring a lot back. We got a lot of young kids coming up that are good. But again, you have to be able to manage those expectations and not let them take over your thinking. Again, it's funny, you watch those kids and they're so resilient and they just go out and have a good time, and that's what I would tell them to do. Go out and have a good time, enjoy playing basketball, and don't let the outside pressures and outside expectations get to you.
Absolutely. And the one thing about it, Leah, is you've sat in that seat as a head basketball coach before. In fact, a lot of people may not know this. You sat in that seat that Donna Buckley sits in today as a Noblesville basketball coach. So high school coaches are used to being able to, every year's a new year. I mean, you got new kids, you got young kids that have improved tremendously, especially that freshman, sophomore year on a girls' side, tremendous difference in their growth and their maturity and everything. So every year's a new year. And Coach Buckley been around for 20 plus years, so she pretty well understands what has to be done.
Oh, absolutely. She's a great coach and has a great coaching staff, and they've done an excellent job this past summer. Just continually talking to the girls about, hey, yeah, last year was great. We won the state championship. But again, this year's a new year, and we can't rest on what we did. But we also, we have to get better every day, and again, not let the pressures and expectations from outside people dictate what you do. And I think they've done a great job of talking to the kids about that, and just again going out and enjoying playing basketball. Absolutely,
and that, the one thing about it, and it's like that. You're very, very blessed to be at this school, and not only are all of our athletes great athletes, but they're also very good in the classroom, and they keep a very high academic standards here at Noblesville High School, which you're very blessed to have.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure that all of the all-state accolades haven't come out for fall yet, but I expect that we'll have several that make the academic all-state team, and obviously that's a great accolade for us and for our kids and coaches as well.
Well, let's talk a little bit. I know we talked here for winter sports. We've talked girls basketball, obviously, but you have boys basketball coming up. You have wrestling. You have swimming. Am I missing anything?
No.
Okay. I have to go through this. Yeah. You have to go through check. Let's talk a little bit about those teams. Scott's in his second year in basketball here for the boys, and I was, as you know, because you looked in the gym last night, I was here, watched the girls a little bit, and then I went upstairs and watched the boys, and we got a good nucleus of players coming back there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and talking with Coach McClellan, I know he's very excited about this upcoming year, and again thinks that expectations are high for this team as well. And again, we have a lot of letter winners coming back, and again, a lot of good young kids that are going to compete for playing time. And so I know he's very excited about this season and has high expectations. And you've got a great player in Luke Almodovar, and just the whole team. They're well rounded, and I think they complement each other very well. So again, expectations high for the boys basketball team. Wrestling, I know Coach Weimer, we call him the Energizer Bunny, and he's so passionate about his wrestling team, and as are we. I think last check with Coach Weimer, I think they had 88 kids that have come out, which is great. And he just does an awesome job of building from the youth program all the way up. And his, like I said, we call him the Energizer Bunny. His excitement is contagious. It takes the kids a little that don't know him. It takes a couple days for them to be like, okay, what's this guy doing? But once they understand, they go full-fledged. And so I know, he's very excited about this upcoming year. We had a state qualifier last year for the first time in several years. And so he's done a great job of laying the foundation for, what he wants the program to look like.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about a little bit about swimming.
Again, we had several state qualifiers, boys and girls, last year. So I know Coach Fansler, again, expectations high in the winter, and hopefully we can use that fall success that we had to help us into the winter and keep that success going. But again, yeah, high expectation. I'd say swimmers, I'm not sure that there's any other team, maybe cross country, but any other team that puts in the amount of hours that the swimmers do. That as you know, they're in there in the morning, they're in there in the afternoon, and so they're a very dedicated bunch of young men and young women. And so again, expectations high for all of our winter sports.
Yeah, and Leah, one thing I'd be remiss if we didn't mention this. We are very blessed to be in the Hoosier Crossroad Conference and playing from top to bottom every sport. They're very, very competitive, and it's a dogfight in every sport.
Absolutely. We just had our HCC fall banquet last night. That actually Noblesville, we are the presidency of the conference this year. It rotates every year alphabetically, and so we held it at our new community center. And Dr. McCaffrey went through all the successes, and I think he said it best. It's amazing that we have as much tournament success as we have, because we go through, we beat each other up in the conference, but then come tournament time, we have so much success, and I think it is due to that competition that we get throughout the Hoosier Crossroads Conference.
Yeah, well, I appreciate this, and I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, because I know that Friday night your football team's traveling to Westfield to play another Hoosier Crossroad Conference, because 6 out of the 8 football teams are still in a sectional championship. Now, we all weed out because we all play each other here this weekend.
Right.
There'll only be 3 standing, right? And the 2 that got beat, one got beat by one of the best football teams and 2-time state champion Center Grove. Avon took them right down to the wire, and then, of course, Noblesville beat Zionsville, who is also a Hoosier Crossroad Conference. So, great conference, and we're very, very blessed to be here at Noblesville and with all the stuff we have going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I appreciate you, Leah, taking time out of your busy schedule and doing this for me and Hamilton County TV, and look forward to the rest of the season, finishing up the fall season, start kicking off the winter season, and then it comes spring and it doesn't get any easier.
No, that's true. Last week we were, getting ready to go to soccer, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have a girls basketball scrimmage. So there's winter sports starting right there. So we just went right from, there was no little break in between there, which that's a great problem to have. I'll take it every year. So.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, Leah. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Barry.